It's been a fun week in the world of AI. We got our first information about when GPT-5 is coming. We've got a new AI search agent from Google, and we've got AI salespeople that are actually selling better than humans. We're gonna get into all of that, but first, let's start with the fact that Midjourney released their first ever video model called V1. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say this model is a huge leap over a lot of the other video models that we've gotten, things like Veo 3 and Krea, and even some models that we're going to talk about later in this video. However, if you really enjoy that Midjourney aesthetic, well, this is a video model with that Midjourney aesthetic. If you have a Midjourney account, you can log in, go click on create, and well, this is a image to video model. You can't just give it a text prompt and have it create a video from the text prompt yet. So you first create an image with Midjourney, and then once that image is created, you click an animate button to animate that image. So for example, I wanted to generate my typical wolf howling at a moon video, so I had it generate some images of a wolf howling at a moon, and you notice that once it generates the image, it gives you a new animate button. So you can pick any of the 4 images that it generated, click animate, and it will animate that video. I selected one of the images, had it animate, and it actually created 4 variations of that animation. So you start with one image and it will create 4 different videos for you to choose from. This is definitely more of like a cartoony look, but I'm still fairly impressed with how it looks. And another really cool thing about this Midjourney animate feature is you can actually extend the video. So if you like the way one of these videos looks, I can extend it manually by giving it some additional prompt details, or I can click extend auto. It will add another 5 seconds to the video, just automatically. It will just continue the video. But let's go ahead and click extend manual, and we can see up here, it opens up our prompt box. I'm assuming this is the last frame of the video, and we give it a prompt of something like the wolf turns and runs away. And now I can submit this, and theoretically, we're gonna get a video that continues from the one that I just extended, but now maybe the wolf runs away. After roughly a minute, I've got 4 videos that are extended versions of the original video where we see the original wolf howling at the moon. And then in those final 5 seconds, we see the wolf jump off the hill and run away, just like we asked it to. I also wanted to do a test of my typical monkey on roller skates prompt, and I actually kind of had a hard time getting it to generate a monkey on roller skates as seen by these first 4 examples, these examples here when I tried again, and then finally these 4 examples, which I finally gave in and had it animate this one with, it looks like maybe a cigarette falling from the monkey's mouth or something. And here are the 4 animations that I got. Definitely doesn't have the same realism factor that I've gone for in past monkey on roller skate videos, but I mean, for like a cartoon version, most of them look pretty good. Another really cool thing about Midjourney's video module here is that you can actually upload real photos. So I uploaded a real photo of myself standing here and gave it the prompt, a man does a silly little dance. And it gave me videos of me doing a silly dance from the photos. And this one here is definitely my favorite. Probably how you'd actually see me dancing in real life. If you really want to see what this new Midjourney video model is capable of, I think the best place to do it is to go to Midjourney's Explore page. And most of what's on the Explore page now is videos, because everybody's going wild generating these videos. And there are definitely some really cool generations that you'll come across. Now, Midjourney is really good at extreme realism. Some of these videos look absolutely like real videos. We've got this one here that I came across from Python 1265, looks ultra realistic. Here's another one that looks insanely realistic to me. I'm really impressed by the realism of the videos you can get out of Midjourney. You obviously start with either a real image and animate it, or you have Midjourney generate a very realistic looking image and then animate it. I like to see videos of things that we would never actually see in real life getting generated by AI. That's what really excites me. Things like this monster coming over a city as the woman turns and looks at the camera, or this like lizard looking thing typing on a backwards typewriter. I just love the colors of it. It's got that Midjourney aesthetic that I was talking about. And we got whatever this thing is coming at the camera. And these awesome dudes dancing here, whatever they are. We've got this thing that looks like a weird alien experiment in like the 1940s or something. Here's one that'll definitely give you nightmares. You're welcome. And of course, a 200-foot tall Chris Farley destroying a city. Unfortunately, this is something we'll never be able to see in real life. But AI can make it happen for us. We got a pretty cool new feature out of HeyGen this week. They call it product placement. You upload a product photo, choose an avatar, drop in a script, and then you've got an ad that is the person in the image holding up and talking about the product that you uploaded. It's actually pretty cool, and I think I should probably just test it out real quick. So to do that, I created a cereal called Glacios, glass shard cereal. So crunchy. This is my box shot that I'm gonna have myself holding up and selling to the audience. And if I jump into HeyGen, we've got this option here called product placement. I can click on product placement. It asks me to upload a photo of the product itself. So I can upload my box of Glacios here. Then it asked me to upload an avatar. I'll upload this picture of myself. This is salesman Matt here. And then I'll click next, choose combined image, and it's going to theoretically put the box of Glacios in my hand so that I can be the pitchman for it. It gives me some options to choose from. I wouldn't really say they look exactly like me, but close enough for demo purposes. I can select one that I want to use, click add script, and now I can upload the script I want it to actually say, or I can record audio and have it lip sync to that audio. And the final result looks something like this.
You know what gets my kids out of bed faster than cartoons? A big old bowl of Glacios. That's right, shards of glass right in the cereal bowl. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and nothing says wake up like the glint of sunlight off razor-sharp flakes. Sure, the school called again, but you know what? My kids have grit and possibly some internal bleeding, but hey, it's part of a complete and balanced breakfast.
So, maybe a little monotone when you use their text to voice, but again, you can go and test the other version where you actually record yourself saying it and it will lip sync up to it. I think it's a pretty fun, pretty cool feature. I also think there's a lot of potential for abuse, right? Like, who's to stop people from just taking a picture of a celebrity, putting their own product in there, and then pretending that celebrity endorses their product? I mean, right now it's not gonna fool anybody. Don't get me wrong. That's not fooling anybody. But how far off are we from this being really, really good? Probably pretty close, honestly. The company Higgsfield AI rolled out a new feature called Canvas. It's their state-of-the-art image editing model. So you can paint products directly onto your images with pixel perfect control. Now, I feel like their demo video here is slightly misleading because it looks like they're taking videos and then like editing pieces of the video, which is not really what's going on. It's an image editor, but you can edit an image and then the final version of the edit that comes out, you can then animate after the fact. It's just, I feel like this is a little misleading because they're showing them highlight specifically a video and then editing what looks like a video. But if I jump on over to Higgsfield here, you can upload an image and we can edit the image. Like, for example, I can paint this fish's tail. I think it's a little crude that this fish isn't wearing pants and I want to know what fish pants would look like. So let's go ahead and, highlight the tail and say, put blue jeans on the fish and then generate. And now we have some options of what fish pants would look like. I mean, yeah, that's probably what fish pants would look like, I would guess. I really like that one, but I mean, how's the fish gonna wear shoes? But now that I have my fish with pants, it's at this point I can click the video and have my fish with pants actually converted into a video. And here's what that fish with pants looks like when we finally put it back into water to swim around with its new pants. And Higgsfield did a pretty good job considering that this is what ChatGPT thought that a fish with pants should look like. We also got some news out of LTX Studio this week, who happens to be the sponsor of today's video. They actually just rolled out Veo 3 into the LTX Studio platform. If you're not familiar with LTX Studio, it is an all-in-one video production platform. You can create full shot-by-shot storyboards, and then every single shot then turns into an animation to fill out a full video. And if you haven't noticed from the shots on the screen, you can even inject yourself or people into your videos. You can train your own face into these things. And if you're not familiar with Veo 3, it's Google's new AI video model that can actually generate the sound effects that go along with the video. It is pretty much the most powerful generative video model out there. And again, it's now available in LTX Studio. So if I come into generate motion here, down on the bottom under the video section, you can see I have options to use the LTX models that they developed or Veo 2 or Veo 3 developed by Google. Just for fun, let's give it a prompt. A soldier in the forest high fives Bigfoot while saying good game.
Good game.
Perfect. With the ability to use Veo 3 inside of LTX Studio, you unlock richer, more cinematic storytelling with just a prompt. So if you're looking for an all-in-one platform where you can generate the script, the storyboard, the visuals, the audio, and put it all together in a single platform, LTX Studio might be your answer, and now it has Veo 3. So you can go try out Veo 3 within LTX Studio by using the link in the description, and thank you so much to LTX Studio for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to it. And since we're talking about AI art and video, a couple quick things I want to mention. Out at Cannes Lions in France, YouTube CEO Neil Mohan mentioned that Google's Veo 3 is actually coming to Shorts. So people will be able to use Veo 3 to directly generate short form videos directly on YouTube. So you know what this means. YouTube Shorts is about to get a whole lot more bullshit. Now, don't get me wrong. I love using AI as a creative tool to help me with videos and things. However, I do have some concerns about this future where people might just be able to go into YouTube, type a prompt, and it generates a junk short that gets pushed out to people's feeds. Like, it seems like a way of flooding the system with just more, I guess, for lack of a better term, AI generated slop. And if they're doing it with shorts now, when these models get better, is long form next? I don't know. I just have this worry that in the long term, people aren't going to necessarily care if the videos they're watching were generated by AI or generated by real humans, as long as they deliver that sort of dopamine hit that they came to get. So I do think it's interesting that YouTube is doing this. I just think they need to tread carefully on it so there's not like a revolt from this move, because I don't know, I could see this being really cool. I can also see this being really bad. To be fair, there's not a ton of information about how Veo 3 is going to be used in Shorts yet. So I'm really hoping YouTube does it in a smart way that most people agree makes sense. We also got a new image generator this week out of the company Krea called Krea 1. It's a collaboration with Black Forest Labs. So if you use Black Forest Labs Flux, it seems like it's probably going to be on par to a lot of the Flux models, but another AI image generator is out there. If you like to test all the different platforms and find the one that's your favorite, well, Krea has another one for you to try now as well. We got a really interesting update out of Google this week with their new Search Live feature. This is a feature where you can actually have a conversation with Google's search. So you can ask it questions or try to get advice from it, and it will literally do a Google search for you and then give you an audio response back with the answers to whatever your query was. This works in the Google app on both iPhone and Android now. I'm on an iPhone currently. And you can see right under the search, there's like the three little lines with the star on it, the leftmost button there. If I click on that button, it's going to take me into this new live search mode. What is the healthiest cereal for children?
Consider cereals like Cheerios, which are low in sugar and made with whole grains, or those from brands like Nature's Path and Cascadian Farm, which focus on organic and whole grain ingredients. Would you like more information on any of these options?
So we can see here that it actually searched Google for the information. It found 3 different sites and then essentially responded with what it found from those sites. I mean, it got it wrong. We obviously know that Glacios is the healthiest cereal. It's got literally 0 sugar, but still a pretty cool feature that can help your mobile phone be a better question answerer. You no longer have to Google things. You could let Google them for you. As with pretty much every week in the world of AI, we got some more AI drama this week. Let's start with the fact that Meta was trying to poach employees from OpenAI, and to try to get them, they were offering them $100 million signing bonuses. Oh my God. Like, that's insane. This week, Sam Altman went on his brother Jack Altman's podcast called Uncapped, and this was probably the most interesting tidbit to come out of their conversation together.
They started making these like giant offers to, a lot of people on our team, like $100 million signing bonuses, more than that comp per year.
It's crazy.
And it is crazy. I'm really happy that at least so far, none of our best people have decided to take them up on that.
So he was referring to Meta and Mark Zuckerberg going after his team members. Sam Altman went on to say that Meta sees OpenAI as their biggest competition, and it really makes sense. Meta wants everybody's attention, and things like ChatGPT and the tools they're building, well, people are spending more time with those tools, and it's grabbing more and more of people's attention, which is taking attention away from Meta's platforms like Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp. There's also some drama between Microsoft and OpenAI. Apparently, their relationship is starting to crumble, and if you're not aware, Microsoft actually owns 49% of OpenAI. And I guess the latest drama is mostly around how OpenAI is acquiring Windsurf, and they don't want Microsoft to have equity in the portion of Windsurf because Microsoft runs GitHub Copilot, which is a competitor to Windsurf. So essentially, OpenAI bought a competitor to Microsoft's product. Microsoft wants a piece of that as well, but OpenAI doesn't want to give them a piece of that because they don't want them to get access to the IP or the technology over here. It's weird. Things are just getting weird fast between the two companies. All right, now let's move into the rapid fire section. Sam Altman was on another podcast this week, except instead of this one being his brother's podcast, it was the OpenAI podcast, because they have a podcast now too. And on the podcast, I think the most interesting question that came up with the most interesting response was when asked about GPT-5.
What is the time frame for GPT-5? When are we going to see this?
Probably sometime this summer.
Right.
I don't know exactly when.
Now, I'm recording this in June. We're already entering summer. So essentially, he's saying within the next few months, we'll probably see GPT-5. He also went on to talk a little bit more about the naming convention and how he knows it's confusing with the 04 and 4.0 and 4.1 and 4.5 and 03 and 03 Pro and how confusing all these names are getting. And they want to get to more of like a conventional, just next one will be GPT-5, and then after that, GPT-6. And they're just going to sort of standardize that naming. But exciting news, we're probably going to see GPT-5 in the next couple months. How big of a leap over what we currently have it's going to be, who knows? But at least we know it's kind of around the corner. The company Heygen AI out of China absolutely shipped this week. We got 3 new launches out of them, starting with Minimax M1, which is an open source model with a 1 million token context window. So in my mind, this is very similar to like Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro, which has that massive context window. It has that thinking ability, but it's open source and openly available for anybody to use and iterate off of. Now, this one is a 456 billion parameter model, so you're unlikely to be able to run it on a local computer. You're more likely going to need to run it on a cloud GPU that's pretty powerful. But again, it's open source and you can kind of do what you want with it. They also shipped the Minimax agent this week. It's a general intelligent agent built to tackle long horizon complex tasks. So in their demo here, we can see create a virtual Louvre tour where I can view major artworks accompanied by audio explanations. The number of artworks is about 10. I would like the UI match the atmosphere of a museum, being classical and exquisite. We can see it then breaks it down into phases, starting with phase 1, research and content curation. Each phase has multiple steps under it. Phase 2, audio content creation with more steps under it. Phase 3, website development, and followed by phase 4, final documentation, again with even more steps. And then it built an entire website with a virtual tour of the Louvre, where you can click into any one of the images and it has an audio guide of what that image is all about. This seems very similar to what we got out of tools like Manus a few months ago, but this one came out of Heygen AI. Heygen also shipped a new video model called Heygen O2. Apparently it's best in class at instruction following, handles extreme physics. It can even do acrobatics. As we can see, they did like circus imagery in their demo to show off that it can actually do people doing gymnastics and juggling and riding bikes and things like that. And I wanted to give this one a test real quick. You can try it out over at heygenai.video. The first test that I did was I plugged in this thumbnail from one of my previous videos and just generated it without any sort of text prompt because I wanted to see what it would do. And here's what it gave me. It sort of animates the text at first and makes my head move around and I make some funny faces, but you know, what do you expect? The image started with me making a funny face, so it kind of just stuck to what it was doing originally. I actually was very impressed by how consistent my face stayed throughout this video here. I then gave it my wolf howling at a moon test, and this was the video I got Once again, pretty impressive. And here's what I got when I gave it the prompt of a monkey on roller skates. I can't complain about this, especially considering what my monkey on roller skates looked like 2 years ago, where it didn't look like a monkey. It was just a little blurry blob moving around on the screen. And to be getting this now, it's insane to me. Meta hinted this week in an Instagram post that there's a very likely collaboration between Meta and Oakley on an upcoming pair of sunglasses. We've been getting Ray-Ban sunglasses with Meta AI built into them. And I mean, the parent company of Oakley and Ray-Ban are the same company, but it sounds like we're going to be getting Oakleys with AI built into them pretty soon as well. We also got some pretty uplifting, cool news out of AI this week that AI can now detect heart disease using existing scans already stored in a patient's record. Mass General Brigham researchers have developed a new AI tool in collaboration with the United States Department of Veterans Affairs to probe through previously collected CT scans and identify individuals with high coronary artery calcium that place them at greater risk for cardiovascular events. Millions of chest CT scans are taken each year, often in healthy people, to screen for things like lung cancer. And apparently these scans can now all be used to find early warning signs of heart disease without patients actually needing to go and do any extra work. I love hearing stuff like this, where AI is actually being used for real world, practical, helpful, life-changing use cases. That is just awesome to me. Now I have 2 more funny little stories I want to tell you. Before I do want to shout out that I'm going to be making some new videos that are really focused in on the coolest tools that I've been playing with lately. I'm going to be getting back to my roots a little bit, where we're going to be demoing and making a lot more tutorials on how to use some of these really cool tools. So if there's any tools that you've seen in my recent news videos or in this video that you wish I would dive deeper into, let me know in the comments, because again, that's the style of video we're going to be making in some of our upcoming videos. All right, last couple things here. This is really fascinating to me. This one comes out of Baidu Inc. There was a live stream where these 2 dudes here are actually AI generated salespeople. So I imagine this is sort of like a QVC home shopping network kind of thing, where they're selling products on this live stream, except these are AI generated people selling the products. Now, prior to the AI generated people, they actually had these real guys selling the things. When they switched them over to the AI generated people, the AI generated people actually outsold the real people. So on this 6-hour live stream, it got 13 million views and made 55 million RMB. Now that's the currency of China, and when translated to US dollars, figures to be about $7.6 million from this 6-hour live stream where AI avatars are doing the selling. And finally, UCLA had their graduation, and this particular student celebrated graduating by holding up his laptop to show that he used ChatGPT to actually graduate. So yeah, this guy's kind of admitting to cheating in real time during his graduation on the big screen. And the caption on the screen says UCLA graduates ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure they meant to say ChatGPT there. But that's what I got for you today. It's been a really fun week. A lot of really cool visual stuff in the way of video and image generation, and some interesting drama as always. If there's other news stories you want me to talk more about, let me know down in the comments. I do my best to filter through the hundreds of stories that come across my desk every single week and filter it down to just the things that I think the most people are going to be interested in. If you think I'm on the wrong track, let me know. But these are the stories that I personally found the most fascinating and that I thought the most people would care about in the AI world. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you feel more looped in. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for nerding out with me today. If you like videos like this, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I'll make sure more videos like this show up in your YouTube feed. And if you haven't already, check out futuretools.io, where I share all the coolest AI tools and all the latest AI news. And there's an awesome free newsletter. Thanks again. Really appreciate you. See you in the next one.